Hello and welcome to this training about the business case tool. This is part of the Contractual large format printing video series, so I hope you enjoy this one. My name is Anna Malet, I'm Worldwide Product Manager, and I'm going to explain you what the business case tool is, which information you can find, and how you can use it. So let's go. First of all, you may remember this slide from the overall presentation about Contractual. In this slide, we show the transformation that a channel partner will undergo when they switch from contractual sales to transactional to contractual. This business case tool plays out in this journey at the beginning. The business case tool will show the revenues, the projected revenues that the channel partner can do when switching to contractual. This tool is a very simple Excel file that you can use to have good conversation with the channel partner and to help them see which is the profit that they can expect when they move to this new sales motion. So now that you can see that it plays at the very beginning, let's see more specifically what this tool does. First of all, it provides the revenues over the next 10 years about two scenarios. The first scenario is the do-nothing scenario, where the reseller can see the revenues they will be getting if they continue doing the sales transactionally, provided a series of inputs. So for instance, how many printers they expect to sell, and also the supplies and service connect rate that they expect to do. Secondly, you have the contractual do scenario, where the reseller will be able to see the difference from switching to the connect rate that today they have on supplies and service to 100% connect rate on supplies and service. With this, they will be able to see the increase of revenues they can expect when switching to contractual. Also, in this Excel file, you have a last part where the reseller can insert the costs. The reseller may have in mind that they will need to hire new people or change the bonus incentives or even put some infrastructure in place that will cost something. In this table and in this chart, the reseller will be able to see at the end the gross margin provided this cost that they can expect. So now let's go and let's review what this Excel provides. Okay, so now we have the tool open, so let's see how this tool works. First of all, let me do a zoom out so you can see how this Excel is organized, so then you can orientate yourselves during the process. So as you can see, this Excel is very simple one, just one tab. It's divided into the three key sections. The first one that I'm highlighting now is about printer. So you can see in this section the inputs and the outputs about the printer units calculations. Then we have the same another second section about the ink supplies revenues and also inputs. And finally, we have a third one about service. You can find also a fourth one here at the bottom, at the right hand side, that it's about total, okay, which basically is the summary of everything. And also you can find three kind of sections from top to bottom. The first one is the inputs. So on the inputs, you can see many cells in a yellowish color. These are the cells that are inputs. So in these cells, you will need to put, now you will see a number, is an example, but please feel free to change this number, put it the number that is right for your business, because this drives the output calculations. Then you have another section that is about the do-nothing scenario. So in these tables, you will be able to see the calculations about the business as it is today. So basically with transactional or whatever is the reality of the channel partner. And then finally, a third one at the bottom where the calculations are for the what if you would be doing contractual instead of transactional. Okay, so now that we have seen how this Excel is structured, let me do zoom in so we can see the details. First, let's go for printers. So here at the top, you have the different printer models, okay, that this Excel is collecting. Of course, there are other models that we support. Other versions of the contractual business case tool will be there as we launch new products. Feel free also to add if you need to. This Excel, by the way, is open. You can check the formulas and you can play with it and change it as you will. Okay, this is just a starting point. And then here you can find the price, okay, basically the revenue, the street price that the reseller will be using for these units, which is the revenue that the reseller is getting out of each printer models. Secondly, here you have the sales forecast for each one. So for each one of these printer models, which are the units that you expect to be selling over the next years, okay? You need to put the number in year 1, year 2, etc., okay? And then out of this, you don't need to do anything else in this part because the do nothing scenario will show up here with the revenues that you would expect, okay? Now let's move on to the second section about the ink connect rate. In this section at the top, you can find, first of all, the assumptions or the input about the milliliter by client, by year, that you could expect for each one of these printer models. This information we provide here is based on our macro data that we have. However, the reality, depending on which market segment you sell this printer to, you could see these numbers change. So it's your job to actually adapt these numbers to your reality. And also here you have the price per milliliter, also basically given some assumptions that we have, but of course you need to change it to exactly which is not your number. And then you have here another chart, which is the connect rate, okay? This is critical. You need to calculate how much is the connect rate, so basically how many ink revenues you will be getting out of each hardware sale. So if you have the insight that your clients are purchasing to you the printer, and at some point in the middle of their life they start purchasing the supplies to another vendor, then your connect rate will be around approximately 50%, okay? Also, you can do the reverse calculation in a way. If you know your units sold and you know your ink supplies revenue, you could calculate based on the ink supplies revenue and assuming a usage on year on per client and per year, you could assume how more or less which is the connect rate that you're getting out of the revenues that you're today doing for ink supplies. Okay, so when you have this number nailed down, then please plug it in. Then you will have here the calculations about, first in this chart here, you will see the calculations of the do nothing scenario. Okay, again, we are in the section of the do nothing scenario, the revenues you're getting today, and then at the bottom, okay, now we go at the bottom where we have the do contractual scenario. You have here the chart about what if you would be getting the 100% connect rate on ink for the printers that you will be expecting to sell over the next years, okay? And finally, we have the third column that plays with a very similar, well, exactly the same logic. At the top, you have the assumptions around pricing, which is the revenue you are expecting for service for each one of the printer models that you're selling today. Second, you have here the chart about the the service connect rate, okay, how many clients are actually purchasing or getting this maintenance service out from you. And then you will have the same two charts at the bottom. The first one will show you the revenues you can expect with the connect rate you have today, and at the bottom, the revenues that you will be getting if you attach all your clients to a maintenance contract. Then at the very end, you have the summary. So here you can see how this reality plays out for you. First, you have the transactional chart, where you can see the totals, the projected revenues with the current business, with the sales motion that you have today. And secondly, what if you would be moving to contractual? You would expect that unless your connect rate is very high already, you would see that the number increases, okay, increases versus the do nothing scenario, and increases over the years. Because as you sell contractual, you sell more units which are attached to you, where you are able to attach all revenues from service and supplies. Basically, your recurring revenue will be higher and higher, okay? You will be able to diversify your profit pools, okay? It will not depend on hardware, but it will be on hardware, service, and supplies, and so it will be growing as you grow the install base of these units contractually. Then at the bottom, you have finally the incremental versus the do nothing, okay? And finally, a graph, a chart, and at the very right, which compares, which takes the numbers directly, okay, from the numbers of the Excel, where you can see, first of all, the different profit pools, okay, hardware, inks, and service, okay, as the years go by, and the yellow line will be, in this case, the results from the transactional calculation, and the blue one is the results from the contractual calculation, okay. As you can see, year 10, you increase revenues, you must almost double it, while you are able to diversify profit pools. Finally, just one thing at the bottom, you have also, you can, because you may argue, yes, this is very nice, but what about the cost? If I move to contractual, I will need to hire someone. Maybe I need to spend more money, or change my bonus incentive, or even do some investment in infrastructure. Well, here you have a chart that can help you play how these numbers will be. First of all, you have the bonus incentives. You may think that you need to attach the bonus incentive not to the hardware sale, but actually to the supplies and revenue, or basically to the contractual sales altogether. Okay, so basically the sales rep will receive kind of a bonus incentive out of this recurring revenue that you have. And secondly, you have here the chart of the investments, where you can note down which is the cost that you will have on extra people if you need to, the bonus, which are, this is not, this is a white cell because it's an output, basically it's taking the numbers out of other cells in the Excel, and then the infrastructure. And then here at the bottom, you have the total costs. Just to finish up, then here we go back to the totals, okay, where you had your chart about contractual revenues, and then here you will find the gross margin, which is as simple as deducting the revenues out of the cost that you have inserted in the chart we have just seen. So this is all from this Excel. As you can see, is very simple. You can change it as you like. You can use it as an inspiration to create your own. I hope this is useful for you. So I hope you have found this training useful. I hope this Excel will be helping you to assess the future of your business, to assess and to decide whether it is the right move for you to do, and also to help in case you are a sales rep, a PBM. This can help you to have a good conversation with your channel partner. Again, if you have any feedback, any question, feel free to reach out, and I hope we see you in another training in Contractual. Thank you.